So Hari Om to all the Atmajyotis, divine light of the self. Let us start with the prayer to the Guru. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So, taking the blessings of all the Sadgurus and our Karana Guru Sri Prabhuji, let us start today's session. We have got a very interesting topic today. It's brahmavichara and atmavichara. There's so much to say about it, and we are very eagerly looking forward to all the Siddhantis to present their understanding of the topic. So let us start with Yashmita. Yashmita is going to talk about brahmavichara. So you have 7 minutes. And when you're ready, Sharavananji will start the count.
Sure, Purnima. Just a minute, I'll start sharing the screen and then...
So 6 minutes, I'll change to yellow, and after 7 red, 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the screen visible to all? Shravanji, is the screen visible?
Yes.
Thank you. Then we can start. Hari Om to all. Today's topic is brahmavichara. So it's a quite vast topic. Like we have discussed about vichara earlier. So it's about inquiry into the nature of truth. So here, what is the starting point in brahmavichara? So we start with what we are experiencing, but from which standpoint? It is from the totality standpoint. So it's from the standpoint of Jiva and Jagat. So Jagat is what we are experiencing, the world, and then we see ourselves as Jiva, and there is a disconnect. So we are starting from that standpoint of totality into the inquiry process. So as all the Vedantic vichara starts from the known to the unknown, to what we are not aware of. So this also this journey also starts with what we know about the creation and what we know about the Jagat. So we can start with understanding what we know from what the science say about the creation. So the science says that the whole universe came through the Big Bang. So and then the life force came in and all the evolution happened. So just put in an illustration for us to understand how the life form progressed. So here, like suppose we can imagine if Earth history was put on a calendar. So we can see on the 1st January, the Earth came into its presence, or it got created, and the first life form came only in February. And then as we progressed, we see like the plants or the photosynthesis organisms came to being in March. And this is all in singular stage, or the multicellular life came into existence only in March and September. And when we see like the big creatures, we see that the dinosaurs came in only in December 13th. And we as human beings, we are only towards the end of the calendar. So we see somewhere in 31st December, we are human beings are into existence. So we are quite relatively new organisms in the whole history of Earth's evolution, but we are quite predominant ruling the Earth's creation right now. So what this helps us to know, understanding this evolution process is, we see that the multitude of the magnitude of the universe, and also when we see the evolution process, we see how relatively new and so small we are in terms of the whole creation. So it makes us really humble to begin the process with. So we always see that if we say about Upanishad, we say like we have to sit with the master. So you have to have that humbleness or the surrenderness to first begin the process. So when we start with brahmavichara, we understanding the magnitude like naturally brings us that humbleness to start our inquiry process. So this is what the science says. So what the Purana says about creation, we have seen a lot of Vishnu Purana and Bhagavad Purana where they say that like each creation is one kalpa, like the 1 day of Brahman. So after the Brahma, so after the 1 day of Brahma gets over, the creation comes to an end. So and then there is another night of Brahma where there is no creation, it's at rest, and again the next kalpa begins. So it is like a cycle of kalpas or the manifestations of world which happen. So this Puranas expounds further on what we know in science, like whatever has the creation, like what starts, it also comes to an end, but again it recreates is what we come to know through our Puranas. So to understand more about what is the world, here are some of the understandings from our scriptures. So what we know from the Tattva Bodha is whatever Jagat that we see, it is constituted of 24 factors. So it is the Pancha Mahabhutas, that is the spare, like we can see, there's the Akasha, Vayu, Prithvi, Jala, Agni. And then we see the Pancha Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, and the Pancha Pranas, and also the Antakarana, what we call it, that is also part of the world. So like here, what we can see is whatever is the, they say, Yat Pindande Tat Brahmande. So whatever is there at the microcosm level is also there at the macrocosm level. That is what we can see, that the world constitutes everything. And like where is the source or what is the substratum of the world, we can see further explanation through the Mandukya Upanishad, which says that etasmat jayate prano manaha sarvendriyani cha kam vayur jyotihi apaha prithvihi vishwasya dharini. So it says that all the pranas, the manas, the indriyas, all the everything, this sense organs, everything has come from the divine or the infinite, which is where everything has come from. So we know like this is the world, this is where it has come from. Then moving further, like now we know how this has come into being, but how we as a sadhaka or a jignasu proceed further through the brahmavichara process. So we know that this is all infinite. So for the jignasu, like to start his journey, it is, we can't go through the pramana, we know pratyaksha pramana or the what we say inference or the doubt principle. We can't go through that, so we'll have to rely on the Vedas, because these has come from the Lord himself. So that's why they are called as the revelations of truth or the Apaurusheya, because this has come from the divine himself. So this so we have to go through the process of Veda Pramana to understand about the Jagat or the whole creation and process. So here so this is the thing. What we start with is the Karma Kanda of the Vedas, so which mainly focuses on the rituals or the form worship, and then which leads to Karma Yoga. This is what we have discussed earlier in our sessions, where Karma Yoga leads us to the purification and helps us to drop the doership in the process. Like we get involved in the Pancha Mahayagnas, and then this purifies our heart and brings us the discipline. And also next section moves about Aranyakas or the Upasana. So Upasana is also means that we sit close to the God. Upa means close. We sit close to the God. So when we are doing the Upasana, is a form of Vedantic meditation where we are focused on whatever is our Ishta Devata and do our Upasana. So this also purifies our mind and makes us prepared. And we also have that compassion towards all the life forms. And the next we know is after the Karma Kanda is the Jnana Yoga. So this is the first two aspects leads us to the preparation for the journey. And finally, we go to the process of inquiry, the final understanding or the conclusion. We saw saw that evolution chart where we see the evolution began from the 1st January, and the human form came only on the last day of the calendar. So like that, the preparation takes towards from the start to the end, and the Upanishads or the Jnana Yoga or the final realization happens only in a moment. So that is what the Upanishads aids us to. I think I'm very close to that time. So this is what I would like to conclude with. So Shvetashvara Upanishad says that all the Prakriti is nothing but Maya. And this Maya has been there with the, and who leads that is the Ishvara. So everything is what we see, the Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara is only because of the Maya. Like there is no, what we can say, all the creation, the substratum is the Brahman itself, but whatever creation is there is only an appearance, like we see in the Avastatraya Prakriya. So only in the waking we see this creation, but in a dream world there is another world, and in the deep sleep there is no world. Just like that, all this is just manifestations or the appearance that we see, but everything is Brahman itself. Hari Om.
So that was Yashmita. Very beautiful, fluent presentation, Yashmita. So who is the Purva Pakshi for Yashmita? Shobana. Okay. Anyone actually? Why not? Anyone who has a question? Oh, that's me. No questions only. You spoke so well. Okay. Anybody has questions for Yashmita? Vaniji, you have?
I have a question. Not very sure whether what I'm saying is valid, but you had put among the scriptures, you said Brahmanas and Karma Yoga. Is that Karma Kanda?
Yeah, Karma Kanda is like the first section, but I just put for my reference what is there in that, what it leads to. Like the first section mainly talks about action. So every action has to be converted into Karma Yoga. So I just put it for my reference.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it was a really amazing way to present, brahmavichara.
Yeah.
Because the way, even it's a very original way of conveying how evolution takes place. When you talk about so many yugas and so many millions of years or billions of years, then it's difficult for us to wrap our minds around that.
Yeah.
So the time scale is too vast. But when you start with January and then you end with December 31st, it was so much easier to see it in that small time capsule. So the way of starting that itself was amazing, I felt. And then going on from there to the 24 constituents of the Jagat. So that was also good. And then how you took it from there to the Vedas and the Upanishads, and Ramana Maharshi's quote was also there. Then after that you ended with the final quote. So I felt it's a very fluent and a lot of thought has gone into it. It's not just you have listened to the reference talk and reproduced the points or something. You've listened to the reference talk, you have completely digested it, and then you have brought it out in your own way of original way of expression. So I think that was truly amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Anji.
Okay. So the next speaker is Kantiji. She is not available today. Then we have Pratibha. And Pratibha will talk about, again, brahmavichara, some more of it. Advantages of brahmavichara.
I'm just amazed. I mean, I don't know. Yashmita told everything, whatever is necessary.
Great job.
All advantages. Yeah, I'm thinking how to dynamically change this fine. Okay, 1 second. Where's the share screen? Just have it. I just want to know if you can see the screen, and I don't want it for now. I will keep it. How do you put this for F5? Can you see this? It's not possible.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you can see me also, right? Okay. I'll just stop this one, and then at the end I will stop. Okay. Let us start. I just want to know, can you see this? Anything? The dot here on my hand? Can you see? This one also? Okay. If that is the case, I'm ready. Okay, Shravanji, you can start with that. Okay. The topic that I have got today is about advantages of brahmavichara. I'm not that, Advaita, Vedanta, whatever Ashmita has talked. I don't want to repeat it, so I'm just trying to do it in a different way. So here I'm having a dot here, and this dot represents Pratibha in a red, okay? And this one is another dot that is a different person, okay? Another person, fine, okay? And see, when I'm just basing all my advantages and talk about it on this example, okay? And see here, when the hand is moving, where is Pratibha? Where is Pratibha? Pratibha is also moving, okay? When the hand is moving, Pratibha is moving. When this hand is moving, the other people are also moving. And this Pratibha thinks that when the hand is moving, oh, this Pratibha, I'm very happy, and the hand is moving down, Pratibha is feeling very sad, difficult, I can't take it, this is depression, right? But the point here is, when Guru says, you are none of these, I don't understand. See, then he talks about brahmavichara and says, this dot you are the part of the whole universe. What is happening is this hand. What is this hand? Nothing but this person. And this person is nothing but the whole universe. I'm just giving a representation here. When the whole universe is interconnected and it is continuous motion, Pratibha is also in continuous motion. If Pratibha says, oh, I don't want this change, it is not possible, it's not right. So then on this basis, I'm going to start the rest of the talk, okay? So I'll just share the screen, same thing. So when a person gets to know that I am interconnected, I am the impermanent one, okay? The feeling of impermanence gets to know. The impermanence taught by the guru. Then the person starts feeling humility. Yeah, fine. First thing he feels is that freedom. That freedom is got. Okay, I am free. I don't have to cry. I don't have to be elated. All the feelings are nothing but a movement in me. That's it. The freedom from ignorance of kama, krodha, mada, matsara, lobha is nothing but freedom from misery. That's the first thing happens. When the person, Pratibha, understands this fellow is completely interdependent or interconnected with the rest of the world. For example, this is Earth, right? Okay. This is Earth. This Earth is not, separate from the whole universe. So this Earth is dependent on the solar system. Solar system is dependent on the whole, galaxy and the rest of the world. So the moment this Pratibha understands, I'm not separate, I'm interdependent and interconnected, the first feeling that happens is humility. Oh, this is such a huge universe is taking care of me. I don't have to worry about it. The first thing comes is humility. The ego goes down. The next thing comes is gratitude. Oh my God, such a great universe has been created. I'm in this world. I'm utilized. I'm so happy to be with this world, right? And this comes as effortless life. Now there is no tension-free life and effortless life, and the life just goes on. You understand, this is a flow of life. I go along with it. There is no rigidity in the mind. There is no rigidity in the mind. I don't hold on to anything. Oh, this is mine. No, I don't hold on to it. This is my body, this is my people, my relationships, my mind, my vastu, any vastu kind of. Okay, nothing, no objects, nothing is mine. There is I, me, mine, just flows and dissolves into this universal truth. Okay, and this comes with, as the ego is lessened, comes with abundance of freedom. Abundance. I start feeling everything is mine. It's not like only small body is mine, my people, my this and small things, but everything is mine. How can I be away from everything? I'm so interconnected, so happy. The life becomes happier. Okay, next, first, then happens is, oh, acceptance of life. Whatever happens, whether it's pain or pleasure or good or bad or this or that, whatever it is, you feel acceptance. Yeah, this is happening. Yeah, I had to go up, I had to go down. It's fine. Life is giving me like this. It's fine. What I can give to life is dharmic actions, dharmic desires. The desires will come for everybody. But now I choose for the flow of life. I go for flow of life. I don't go against the life. So all actions are dharmic actions. I add to the co-creator of this universe, right? Co-creation of this universe. This is what happens. And now I understand, when this is there, where am I? Where is this Pratibha now? Where is this Pratibha? This Pratibha is just a dot, a speck. Okay, it comes and goes. It can go anywhere, I mean anytime. It can just bubble up. It's like a small bubble in the ocean. It just comes and goes. So now the feeling of equanimity, acceptance of life, now the non-doership will come. The meaning of non-doership. Why? Because I'm not doing. How can I do? Even the feeling that I am separate is also coming from the whole universe only. So the non-doership, any actions or dharmic actions is also pointed to the non-doership. I'm not doing. Pratibha is not doing. There is no small I here. There is no small I. Life becomes easy, simple. Don't have to worry about things. So this ahamkara will not catch hold of anything. Now comes the real love. Real love flows through me. What do you mean by real love? See, usually love, oh, I love you, to a person or a relationship, right? What happens? My son, my daughter, my mother, my family, okay, spouse, anything to that matter. What is exactly happened? This is Pratibha, and this is some other person. This is also moment. This is also moment. A speck of time in my time of some years or time. The universe is blank scale. It's a huge scale. In that, this is one person. I understand. I just let go of that person very easily. I don't go behind and then start clinging onto that. So there is no clinging, there is no attachment, there is no aversion, nothing. This is real life. And now from zombie life, I start being alive. Zombie life is like ahankara. I don't want this. I don't want this. What shall I do? The whole world is standing on me. No, I live happily, being alive, active. And these are some of the advantages what Sri Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita, that he shows Virat Swarupa and all of the whole universe. I am only everything. This hand is only everything. That's what he means to say. I just try to put it in this small time scale, time of 6 or 7 minutes. So hopefully this is helpful. Thank you. I end this.
Pratibha, that was so nice. That was so unique, and it was very engaging. So, anyone has questions for Pratibha, you're welcome.
Oh, somebody.
What's the time taken by her?
Yeah, that's a good question.
8 minutes. 1 minute.
Nothing in the spec. The time is nothing, no.
That's right.
I saw.
Even I felt at times that I forgot to watch the time.
I saw the red and I just ended it.
That's very good.
But I had to talk about this love, so I just, I have to talk about this relationship, and I had to tell this because I have put that mark. I have to use that.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's
Innovative.
questions.
Yeah. Questions. What is this? Everyone is so clear on all these vicharas. We have no questions. Yeah.
I have one silly question. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your slide had some black strips on it.
Black strips,
I thought at some point of time you'll unveil those strips or something.
Black strips were aita. I
Black
don't
and white.
see.
It was all
Oh,
black
the-
and white. Yeah.
You couldn't see those letters?
Those black strips were masking some of the content.
Yeah, maybe
Oh, really?
some window
I thought
was
you were going to do some grand unveiling in the end. I was waiting for that also to happen.
Oh, I don't
Like
see
Virat Swarupa.
anything in my.
Yeah.
ಹೌದಾ ಆ side ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿರಾಟ್ ಸ್ವರೂಪ picture ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
Yeah.
See bits of it.
We could see some Virat
We
Swarupa there.
could see most of
Then
the
I
content
don't-
also. But
Oh,
something
okay,
was
that's
hidden
the
by
reason.
one L-shaped black strip and one straight black strip.
Shucks, I don't know. I'm sorry, I have no idea
Not
what is it.
significant, then forget about it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I have maybe
can-
my computer something wrong.
Yeah. So this question is for both Pratibha and Yashmita. What is the difference between atmavichara and brahmavichara, basically? Similarity.
You want to take up Yashmita or shall I start? Shall I go?
Vani J, actually, Satyavati is going to talk about Atmavichara next. But yeah, if
Yes.
they want to answer now.
Brief, like one sentence.
Like one sentence is, in this brahmavichara, ego lessens, but it does not go away completely. So when the life starts giving such kicks, still that ego is there, right? Then the quest starts. Okay, who am I now? Okay, fine. This is all fine. Outside everything is fine. Who am I? That quest takes Guru starts giving that atmavichara. So that's the end of brahmavichara to the. That's what Guruji says. Nana nana mudanana lies atmavichara. That's what I have understood. It's like so much.
Like,
Over to you, Ashmita.
yeah, like what Guruji said, that Atmavichara is like a subset of Brahmavichara, like it's just a part of it. But Brahmavichara contains covers everything, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. But Atmavichara just focuses on Jiva, because the seeker has already evolved from where he has come.
Okay.
Brahmavichara is like nothing but trying to purify the mind and understand, bringing that humility in the mind and things like that. Trying to understand where I stand. And in Atmavichara, there is no I also. It's like remove everything. That's why I say the whole thing is like, it's true. But who is this movement? Who is this creator? Who is this movement? Then Atmavichara will come into picture. Why am I stuck here? Why should I be here?
Okay, I have a question. I have a question for both. So I'm sure all of us here have engaged in some brahmavichara and some atmavichara. Are you scared? Does it scare you? If yes, why? If no, why? Because Arjuna was scared looking at the Virat Rupa of, Bhagwan. It was scary for him.
Ashmita, you want to say? Or?
Scary, maybe because of the magnitude, maybe because I don't know if it's true, but Tenali Rama, when he saw the the Kali Ma ka Swarup, he got scared. So he asked, like, I can't see, maybe, see this ferocious side or the real self. Then she comes in a very like a familiar or a pleasing form. So maybe the form, seeing the magnitude of the form might scare us, like in the Vishwarupa. But Brahmavichara, like when we start, we might feel what we are a small component in this universe. But as we progress, then maybe we see that we are this, not just part of this. So I think that fear might go away ultimately with the vichara process.
Pratibha, what do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah, the thing is, all the time, I is the one which says ego, right? Ego is always wanting something, and ego wants all the time as comfort and very good and nice and things like that. It has already attached the labels. I want this is nice, that is nice. The moment that comfort is removed, okay, that feeling of comfort that I already, for example, if I have attached darkness or into the fear factor, I go into the dark cave and then I have already, I have that fear in me. When there is a darkness, I start trembling and I say, I don't want this. Okay. It's very easy for the people, for the mind to say, I like pleasure. Pleasure is okay. That equanimity comes very easy. But when the pain is there in the body, or pain is there, like, pain or something, I'm just giving an example. If pain is there, I can't take it. What equanimity? Get lost. I don't want it right away. I start rejecting right away. And this is what Vishwarupa says. Vishwarupa says pain and pleasure, good, bad, darkness, everything is I am. You can't reject anything. There is nothing like, oh, I like only this part of you. I have this, I has every part of it is I. The moment I understand that, then Vishwarupa also might be very pleasing. Okay, whatever. That's the problem. That's the point of it. That's what Guruji actually told when Hakidrala Sadguru teachings nalli. That was the, like, very good example how Guru will be. Okay, that was like very enlightening. If you let
Okay,
me,
you pull it up. If you can pull it up, please pull it up. Meanwhile,
yeah, I have it right now.
Vaniji
So,
can do the evaluation after you finish. Yeah.
yeah, the guru who helps you escape from sorrow by prescribing procedures and methods is not an enlightened guru. A true sage requires that you face your sorrow so thoroughly and intimately that it disappears in the way understanding itself.
Very
In the
nice.
very understanding itself. So, and Amma quoting is also there. Every situation created by Master is a gift of grace meant to remove the ego. The ego says that I don't want it. I get scared. Who gets scared here? There is nothing, no one to get scared here. That's the whole part. So Arjuna still had that ego, so he got scared.
Yes, absolutely correct. Vani, over to you.
Yeah, so I think it's like Yashmita, and always I think Pratibha has a novel approach. Every time we see it, time after time, each talk she gives, she approaches it from a totally different perspective. So same thing she's done this time, 2 dots on 2 hands. It wouldn't even have occurred to me to do something like that. But I think it was an amazing approach. So she took it through also with the slide and explaining one after the other what happens, how humility comes, how fear goes. So one by one layer coming down. I think it was an amazing talk, Pratibha. Really good. Very expressive and very original.
So now we
But
come.
the answers can be crisper.
Shorter. Yeah.
Yeah, answer can be short and crisp.
Crisp. Yes.
Crisp, I don't know how to make it.
There are questions. When questions come, then answers have to be crisp and focused.
Yes. Yeah. All of us, let us be mindful of that. Over to Satyavati.
Purnimaji, can I have a quick question to Yashmita?
All right.
Sure, that is.
Yeah, Yashmita, you have said that atmavichara is a part of subset of brahmavichara. So yeah, you clearly brought out that brahmavichara is inquiring into Brahman as Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara. Okay, so you have done this Tattva Bodha in your AVSC, right?
Yes.
So what is being vicharified in Tattva Bodha?
I didn't get the essence of the question. Like,
So
what are
which
we inquiring?
Yeah, see, Tattvabodha is mainly into which vichara? Is it atmavichara or brahmavichara?
I think brahmavichara, because it brings out there is that sadhaka, he has to have the qualifications, and it also tells us about the process about the creation. And it
Okay.
also includes atmavichara because it's their part of it. So it focuses on both actually. It gives the dimensions of how the world is there, and it also there is the
So I
what
guess
are
he starts with atmavichara and goes to brahmavichara.
okay, yeah, because
No,
the
no, I'm asking. No, no, I'm trying to,
First Jiva, then Jagat, Ishvara.
Yeah,
yeah,
properly
right.
brought out.
Yeah.
So Tattvabodha is a proper brahmavichara where atmavichara becomes a subset of brahmavichara. Okay. Okay. So one, very common question everybody asks, both atmavichara and brahmavichara are required for mukti? Yes or no? None. No patience to
It
listen to
depends on
us.
the seeker actually. Like if the seeker is at that point where he is able to take the atmavichara, then atmavichara is for that seeker. If he is not ready, then he has to go through brahmavichara.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Gayatri.
Okay, that was adequately answered, I guess. So we have Satyavati. She is going to tell about atmavichara.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Currently, I'll set my time also. 1 second.
Okay.
Hari Om to all the Atmajyotis, divine light of the self, and salutes to Sadguru Shri Prabhuji. The topic given to me is advantages of Atmavichara. People have spoken about Brahmavichara now, but yeah, and also the topic of Atmavichara came as a subset of Brahmavichara also, and there was a question also on that. So there are these two elderly people sitting in a wedding hall and discussing about the politics of the country. So Guruji says, is it the age to talk about the politics? In a lighter note, people usually talk in Kannada, there is a say, first nindu nodko, aamele innobrad nodu. And I happened to actually attend one session also where they were just in a lighter note telling, nimdu neevu nodkolli, namdu navu nodkoltivi. So something like this. First, look at your own self and then look at the other. So Atmavichara is a self-inquiry method which is given by Ramana Maharshi, and it leads to the realization of the true eternal self, which is pure consciousness. And it is a direct, straightforward method. And Ramana Maharshi also says that it is suitable for a matured or evolved Tamadikari. And the question of who is a matured seeker, this I think the seeker only will get to know. No one can tell about that. As we go into that method, we will know, and they also say that if he is a matured seeker, Shravana Matrena, that one Shravana itself, he will get realization. And it doesn't mean that if it doesn't happen in one Shravana Matrena, then he has to go for Brahmavichara. And also, I think we have also covered that Atmavichara is no different from Brahmavichara, meaning when we are doing Atmavichara, the Brahmavichara also comes in that. Because the person or a seeker who comes to Atmavichara, it is presumed that he would have done his scriptural study or anything in his previous birth. Because Brahmavichara involves scriptural study. And Atmavichara is just inquiry, self-inquiry. And Ramana Maharshi, whoever goes to him, he will just say, who is asking the question? Find out who is that. Find out who we are. So who am I? So this brings us to the advantages of this Atmavichara. I feel as a seeker also, for me, I think this attracted. I'm not claiming that I'm a mature seeker, because through Atmavichara, we also get into Brahmavichara. And our Guruji is taking us all through Atmavichara and Brahmavichara both together. I think whoever picks up this and this, I think they will go in tune with that. And one has to have a rational mind, because it involves logic, but this logic is a higher level logic which has to come from a master, under the guidance of a master. And Guruji also says that one needs to have a little bit of emotional and maturity, and presuming that the heart is already purified, like Chitta Shuddhi has happened. If not, then again that process also will begin. The Chitta Shuddhi process will begin. And another thing is like we also have this self-inquiry method ke liye, like Drik Drishya Viveka, the seer seen, direct. So Shravana Matrena, in one click, it may happen to some seekers. And also in brahmavichara, like they prescribe so many rituals, this, that, but in self-inquiry, I'm happy, no need of doing any rituals. I can just go on inquiring, but I cannot just be doing that. I need to have guidance from a guru. Guru says, Tatvamasi, you are that. So I have to just contemplate on that. I have to sit and do more of nididhyasa in this self-inquiry method. And there are so many advantages. If as I do this self-inquiry method, then there is a contemplation of the inner feelings, emotions, all these. And I also get to know the interconnections of all these, which brings me a clarity of the mind and to negate all those emotions or thoughts or feelings, which may be an obstacle to me in my spiritual growth. So this self-inquiry method is an advantage to me. And also, I can say that by observing my thoughts without any judgment, I will be having more greater joy and peace and contentment with myself, which also like, you know, I may have a greater self-control. Actually, all these advantages I am actually experiencing in my life with all this, maybe the self-inquiry method only, because whenever anything comes, I usually jump into the self-inquiry method only. And it also helps me to realize my true nature, because ultimately the source of all happiness is my true nature. And there is a profound transformation which is on the process or on the way. It also makes one get a lot of empathy and compassion towards all animals, other fellow beings, everything. And I can say that ultimately we all are actually focusing, our aim is to realize the true self. In brahmavichara, we contemplate on the absolute reality, the totality. So we actually, from atmavichara to brahmavichara, if we say we move from Vyashti to Samashti, but it is not a compulsory. As Gayatri ji was asking the question, they come hand in hand. Not that we are completely eliminating the brahmavichara, because as a subset of brahmavichara, we do get all this, but a little bit of, not that we don't study any scripture, a little bit of Vedantic truths also we get to, we get this through prakriyas, of course, under the guidance of the Guru. I would like to just quote one, recite one shloka from Viveka Chudamani. Bodhosti tatvasyatmanaha swayam prakashova bhasate avidya manyate jivoyam jivan muktaha sa uchyate. The self is by nature pure consciousness, shines by its own light. The individual, due to ignorance, identifies with BMI. When this ignorance is dispelled, one becomes free even while alive and is called Jivan Mukta. Here it clearly says that this method of self-inquiry helps one to negate the, instead of saying negate, to realize that I am not limited to this BMI. I am that vast infinite self, and dispelling the ignorance which causes me to identify this with this BMI, I can attain the liberation while alive, the Jivan Mukta. And so this also is the self-inquiry, or I can say introspection of the true nature of the self. So here I would like to just give a personal experience. When this word comes as introspection, I never even knew about this word introspection. I did some counseling course 10-15 years back when I got to know about this word introspection, and I never even knew anything about my own self, that small s also. Later on, I came to know that there is a big S also, self. And so from self to self, that is the realization. And another, I will just end with one more example, or I can say that a Gnani, Sadashiva Brahmendra, Guruji always tells this. His Guru tells him, be silent. So until then, he would have studied scriptures. He's a master of scriptures. But when Guru tells him, he sits with a self-inquiry method and he becomes he gets realization. He's enlightened. Thank you, Hari Om. With this, I would like to end. Thank you. I think I have exceeded. I was looking into my time, but still I exceeded.
Very nice.
I tried to slow down today because usually I always get a evaluation that I always speed. In spite of that, today I slowed down and still the time also exceeded, but I think it was speed only. Maybe that is my swabhava. I don't know. In some occasions it comes like this. In some other occasions it becomes different.
Anandji, how much time?
8 minutes exceeded.
8 minutes. Is it?
8 minutes.
8 minutes, yeah.
Question also, Sharavananji, if you have.
Yeah, even I was actually going through atmavichara when it came to this. I agree. Start with the self, and before going out and asking, like starting with the self is much more effective and easier. I felt too. But then at the end, we are coming to the same conclusion that there is only one. Right?
Sarvananji, have you got any question for me? You are supposed to ask me a question.
No questions. Yeah.
I have a question, Satya.
Yes.
Yeah. So Atmavichara, was Ramana Maharshi the originator of Atmavichara?
This part I don't know, because whatever Guruji has said, Ramana Maharshi has given the self-inquiry method, where Atmavichara means it is a self-inquiry. This is what I have come to know. Okay. From where it has come, I really don't know.
Self-inquiry is there in Vedanta also. Ramana Maharshi has brought the focus back very sharply to Atmavichara in recent times. And in a way that everybody can relate to.
Yeah.
It's a very generic way.
Easy to approach. And Guruji also says people get stuck also. They feel it is easy, generic, but they get stuck also. Yeah. But with Guruji,
can I ask one question?
Pull them.
Yes, Shobhana has a question.
Yeah, Satyavati ji, why do we have to inquire the belief systems when we are doing self-inquiry?
Actually, I forgot this point. Good that you brought this out. It is the breaking down of the belief system which happens through prakriyas under the guidance of the master. Why? Because our mind consists of only conditionings and beliefs. It is like, as Guruji says, but at the 11th day, a child is given a name, identifies with that. Everything is a belief only. With the belief only, or the mind functions. So it is the breaking down of the belief system which actually frees me, the me, pure me. This is what happens actually through prakriyas. It is not believing something. It is actually the prakriyas which help me to actually verify with my own experience, with my own real happenings. Like, for example, I can say, Guruji asks one person sitting in the class, why did you wear this dress color or something? Then the person says, or say, I am only sitting, I am a Sikh student. So I say, I like red, so I'm wearing red. Then Guruji goes on asking, how come? Because somebody would have told you that red looks good on you. That means I have carried the belief that somebody is telling me this. So that is how we are actually functioning.
One more is, why is self-inquiry for only mature souls?
It's not the question of why. As I told, the seeker would have done all other preliminary purification, everything in the previous birth. Then only it becomes suitable, because this is a direct method. Who am I? Because that actually breaks down that the identification with the BMI. It just breaks down that. And as I told, this Sadashiva Brahmendra, he had read all the scriptures. He was well versed with that. But just that one self-inquiry, one Shravana, he gets realization. So that is the stage where they get that. Because purification has not happened, then it doesn't go in.
Thank you, Satyavati.
I'll be swimming in only the belief systems. What I have got from society, others, and all that.
Okay. So over to Vaniji.
I think Satya has brought out very salient points of atmavichara, step by step, layer by layer. And Satya, the internet also helped in slowing down this time. Because now and then there was a little, I think, lapse in the signal. So you would get a small pause. Maybe not in the most appropriate places, but it would happen. The internet was cooperating in helping to slow it down.
So that is what made the time exceed. So I can take that as a grace time.
That is Anukula Shastra. You
We're not aware, no.
they have
But
given you an opening to do that.
yeah.
So it's all very well said. I just had a small, what shall I say, suggestion. So when you're speaking, you tend to use the phrase as I told. So you know, it
Some
makes
repeated words.
as I told just now, as I told some time back, as I told you. So that repeated use of as I told you, it tends to give the listener an authoritarian descriptive feel. It may not be the intention at all. I don't think that is the intention
Correct.
at all.
Habitual practice.
It is just a mannerism. So instead you could say as we discussed a while ago,
Very
as we looked at this some time back. We looked at this just
Very
now.
nice. Very nicely you brought this one.
Yeah, so that would, I think, totally remove that flavor of authoritarian
Very nice.
from it. That's the only small suggestion.
Thank you. This actually is an eye-opener for me. I also tend to use so, also, I have observed myself, but again it comes, you know, like that counter may, if they really point out something, instead of I use so, also.
And I think now that
all that, I think we are very liberal now.
Yeah, that's true. Now that it's being recorded,
Yeah,
the advantage is we can watch ourselves and others.
Yes, true.
So
and
that
this is a
gives
very
us
good
more
point what you
insight.
have brought. Thank you, Manish. Thank you.
Otherwise, very nice talk. Thank you.
Okay. So shall we move to the next speaker, which is Anu? Anu Rao is going to speak about Atmavichara as per Drishya Viveka. Yes, ma'am.
Hari Om. Hari Om all. The topic, as Purnima ji said, Atmavichara as per Drishya Viveka. We all live in a state of ignorance and we don't know our real essential nature. What is like? Let's break down Drishya Viveka. It's discrimination between the seer and the seen. Drik is seer. Drishya is the object, what we see, and what is seen. You know, we are using our discrimination between this object and the seeing, what we are seeing. So let me explain over here. I do have a japa mala. You all are seeing this, and you are seeing through your eyes, and you're trying to conceptualize in your mind. Eyes is the first seer, mind is the second seer, and what we are trying to think about it in our thing is the third seer from our Atma, that is the third seer. So it's in continuation, seer 1, seer 2, and seer 3, as per Drishya Viveka. And eyes and mind is dependent on Atma. Again, eyes and mind has no independent reality. We are dependent on something to verify what is this japamala. If I close my eyes, I can see my mind and the Sakshi or the Atma. So who is having that independent reality is the Atma. The seer 3 can operate without mind and without eyes also in reality. So how do we know that? Let's take the example of a water. Water, we all have gone to the ocean. We all have seen the waves rising and foam, like bubble kind of forming and all. We are seeing again through our eyes. Why is this happening? This is happening because of the wind movement happening. The waves rise, bubbles forms, and it falls. Let's take the same example of water to our jiva. Again, we all have jiva. What, as in this group, we all can say that we are called as Atma. But how do we know that we are called as Atma? Let's say we have 3 jivas: waking body, dreaming body, and the real nature of our Atma. How do we exactly come to the context of that? When we are awake, we interact in the world, we do our day-to-day activities and all. And we have a waking body, waking mind, waking thing, all of that. But when we go to sleep, we take a dream body, dream mind, dream world. Like as we have all have seen that we'll be sleeping, we'll go to some foreign country, some other country, or we'll encounter some kind of a weird dream or scary dream, all that happens. But when we come out of our dream world, we are again coming to the reality of our real life of our waking body. So again, this jiva has 3 types of name. In waking body, it is called Vyavarika jiva. In dreaming body, it is called as Paramarthika jiva. And the real nature of us, the Atma, it is called, dreaming body is called Pratibhasika, and real nature of us is called Paramarthika jiva. So these 3 jivas are named as 3 different: waking body, dreaming body, and the real nature is, we have named it as this. So in our day-to-day activities, when we come and use our waking body, we are doing it as an action. But how do we differentiate? How do we differentiate these 3 bodies? The entire spiritual journey, we want to recognize I am Paramarthika Jiva, as per Atmavichara thing, How do we recognize this? We recognize this through the Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Let's go a little further on this. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. We all have heard in Brahmavichara, Atmavichara. Now all my fellow teammates, they shared over here. What they shared is Shravana. When we listen to the realized master or the guru, the scriptures and the Vedas, we identify ourselves and we will get to know about the difference between the real and unreal. What is real in this Vyavarika Jiva? When we understand in Vyavarika Jiva, as we know that, we move on to the Manana, through the realized master, who also teaches about the clarifying our doubts, making us to understand what is real, what is unreal. We contemplate and we discuss with our team, with our group satsangis and all. We try to understand the real atmavichara of the us, what is important for us as a human being. What we try to say, is this real? Is this unreal? And as we internalize that, we come across the Nididhyasa. When we learn about the Nididhyasa through the Vyavarika Jiva, and we try to understand who am I as Atmavichara, we try to move on from, like, our Vyavarika Jiva is more like a dream body. We are dreaming all through our life. But when we awake from this Atmavichara, when we wake up from this Atmavichara, we understand this waking body, Vyavarika Jiva, is also unreal. Then what is real? I am Paramarthika Jiva is the only real thing. We try to identify ourselves with the Paramarthika Jiva, and we kind of understand this is real. Dream world is not real. Vyavarika Jiva is not real. And only Paramarthika Jiva is real through the Atmavichara, and we try to establish ourselves in that. Once we establish ourselves into Paramarthika Jiva, we kind of, realize that this is my real nature. Not, I'm sorry to use the word kind. We are the real nature. I am the real nature. And I am the consciousness. I stands for consciousness. Am stands for existence. I am Satchidananda. Like Pratibhaji and others all shared, like Shravana Matrena, even Satyavati ji said, the moment we listen, I am this, we kind of realize this is me, this is the Atma, I am Atma, and we are Paramarthika Jiva. We are neither Vyavarika Jiva or Pratibhasika Jiva. Thank you all.
Very nice, Anu. Looking pretty, and your talk was so lovely. Yeah. This is open to anyone who cares to ask a question. If you have any question, so anyone can ask. And what is your self-evaluation? You think you did well? I think you did.
I try to condense the entire Drishya Viveka. It's so much to speak on. And I was like, where do I start? What do I do? It's so much. And I don't know. Like, too much to digest and too much to kind of just, that's it. I can say the best of ability. Yeah.
Good. Any questions, people?
I was scared also, nervous also, looking at so many.
Today, nobody is there, actually.
No. But it's still, justification has to be done.
No, that's fine. You're fine.
But Anuji, you said you are the real.
Thanks a lot for making me feel that. Yeah, I appreciate.
Okay. Vaniji?
Yeah, I think you totally did justice to it, because you have taken both the first, second, third sphere angle, and you took the 3 jivas from that angle also. So you have got it, and in 7 minutes, what more? You cannot expect to, you can't expand 7 minutes into some elastically to bring in the whole of Drishya Viveka. I think it was a good job. Well done. Well done, well explained.
Good.
With so many tongue twisters, Sanskrit words, and in spite of all that, I think it was a great job.
Yes.
I know. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yesterday evening, I put this together and I was thinking, because for me, these terms are so new and it was hard for me to even say it. Thanks a lot.
Great, really. Yeah.
It was good.
All right. So we have the last speaker for today. We'll move on, Moni, or anything else?
No, I said she has done total justice to the topic.
Yes.
So good for you, Anu.
Yes. Shravan is going to give us, the icing on the cake today is brahmavichara as per Mandukya. I'm sure it's his favorite topic, right? Yeah. You're muted, sir.
Hari Om, everyone. Pardon me if I have some cough, not been well. So, what is brahmavichara? And what is atmavichara? These 2 questions, I think, got answered, but let me begin with answering them in a very simple way. Who am I? This is atmavichara. What's all this? This is brahmavichara. I am that. I am all this. This is the conclusion. Now, as who am I goes, it's very well explained by Anuji that you try go inwards and find out I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this outer organ and go inwards, or you see, I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this intellect, so I must be inside. This is one way. The other way is to find out what's all this. Now, a mature seeker does understand the final goal. Tattvamasi, I am that. But the struggle is to unite that and this. So Mandukya Upanishad takes a completely Advaitic view. There is only one. And that is the substance. That is the reality. That reality is Brahman. Then what's all this? Who am I? It comes. Then Mandukya Upanishad says everything is one. And that one is called Om. Only one. Om. In that Om, if you carefully see, there are 4 parts. A, which is the gross part. U, the subtle part. The metal part, or the causal part. And then there is silence. From the silence, all these 3 appear. Going by this method, what Mandukya Upanishad says is there is only one. That one is the Deva, the seer, the glower, the one who exhibits himself, the one who projects, the one who is alone shining. But first he shines. At the first instance, it looks like he shines as all physical, the world, this physical world, Vishwa, Vaishwanara. But if you look deeper, you find he's not just shining outwards, he's shining inwards. And that inward being is the glow. This is Taijasa, or this Taijasa is, or the one Hiranyagarbha is appearing as Taijasa at a macro level, at micro level. Only one. Mind you, there are not many, just one. That infinite one is only the knower, who is the originator of everything, the Ishvara at the macro level, and the Prajna, the individual, the sleeping Prajna of a person, and the Ishvara at the macro level. So if this is understood, then we come to the real part, which is the substance of all these 3, because all these 3 are shining based on something else. Unfortunately, what is that is never known. What you know, that should be there for all these things to shine, all these things to exist at macro level and at micro level. And that is called the one Shiva, Param, the Shantam, Advaitam, that is called Turiyam, beyond these 3. Now, when something is beyond these 3, how is it appearing as these 3? How is it appearing at a gross level in one way and appearing again into a micro level in another way? This is because this entire thing is being driven by its own nature, called consciousness. Now, this consciousness is at different levels, at different instances, at different points, and therefore it appears diverse. But there's only one consciousness. That one reality has only one consciousness. That consciousness appears because of an inherent property called ignorance in multiple ways, at multiple levels, and therefore all that you see is just that one. This is the essence of brahmavichara. Where we look at the drop, the ocean, everything can be in any states, gas, liquid, solid, but ultimately what is there is just the water. That's what scientists say. There's only H2O. It appears in 3 states. Like that, one Brahman appears in all these states. This understanding is brahmavichara. Hari Om.
Wonderful. So beautiful. I mean, you gave us the picture behind you says it all, It's given the big picture. He's actually looking back. That's so funny. Okay. Anybody has questions for Shravanji? Not because he's not clear, because I'm not clear, I should be asking a question. I mean, if anything, he has got full clarity. So beautiful. All enlightened people on this group, right? Nice. So, Vaniji, you can take over.
Yeah, so like Purnima said, the picture says it all. Right behind you is the Brahmanda, and that's where you started from. So I think also I would congratulate Purnima ji in giving an interesting twist to the topics, bringing in the Triptrishya Viveka into Atmavichara and then Mandukya Upanishad into Brahmavichara. So that sort of relieves the monotony of having to listen to the same topic again and again. But I think Shravanji has done a masterly job.
Totally.
Really good. And not one cough. Cough also got scared away. It was very forcefully said. And there was a lot of clarity in how everything was brought together. And how consciousness only appears as a multiplicity because of Ajnana. Amazing.
Beautiful.
Very, very nice. And Shravanji was very well within time also. Though he has infinity behind him.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Encapsulated the infinite wisdom of Mandukya into proper some 6.5 minutes maybe. Really amazing.
Wonderful job. Very interesting session today, because so many, different shades of the same topics came out, right?
Everybody is talking really well today. And I think today is the last topic, right?
Last topic, but there is today's Purva Pakshi.
The Purva Pakshi group will talk.
Correct.
So for all the people who are speaking today, I think it's the last
Culmination.
Yeah. We have some announcements after the live streaming is stopped.
Yeah.
But I think it's been an amazing session and an amazing journey with all of you. How much effort you have put in, and can see the total blossoming in everybody. So inspired.
I'm sure all of us agree when I say it's Vani and Vasu who have brought us to this, stage. Your effort is, humongous. There is no doubt about it.
Gurji's grace. I see only the grace factor here.
Yes, absolutely. Very nice. So with that note, shall we close today with what about the next session? 2 weeks from now, anybody did?
Stop the live streaming with the prayer. You can just chant the prayer and stop the live streaming.
All right. Om asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Nanu Nanimbudu Nanalla Ideha Manabuddhi Nanalla Satchidanandatma Shivananu Nane Shivoham Shivoham Shivoham. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.